Donald Trump held a rally in Wisconsin yesterday, and he had multiple slip-ups that made him look like he was glitching, and this has caused multiple people online to call for Senile Trump to drop out of the race. So we'll take a look at this clip of him glitching here in a second, but first, let's review other crazy moments from his rally yesterday, because it is just super insane. So take a look at these.
It's not good. It's not good. And we can't play games. I'd like to be nice. I want to be nice. I think I'm a nice person, but we can't take games. We can't. If we lose this election, this country's finished. I really believe it. This country is finished. But she threw open our border, destroyed the middle class, and now as our citizens are suffering from catastrophic hurricane, I mean, this hurricane has been a bad one. Kamala Harris has left them stranded. This is the worst response to a storm or a catastrophe or a hurricane that we've ever seen, ever. Probably worse than Katrina, and that's hard to beat, right? Worse than Katrina. They didn't do too good a job either, but this is worse. And she sends their money to foreign nations. He and she, they send hundreds of billions of dollars. They send hundreds of billions of dollars to foreign nations. And you know what they're giving our people? $750. 700. Here, if she even has a plan to tax the unrealized, and we're going to talk about that, but it's the craziest thing. Never been done, could never be successful. What it will do is bring you into a wonderful age of our country. 1929 depression. Everybody's going to leave. So if a company succeeds, it must give up much of its value to the government of the United States. Everyone's going to leave. They're going to take their companies. They're going to get out. You know, it used to be, I know they do all these polls, and the polls say it's the economy, and the polls say very strongly it's inflation, and I can understand it a little bit. To me, it's the horrible people that we're allowing into our country that are destroying our country. And it's the hardest problem to solve, too. I mean, it's a big, tremendous problem. And that they could do this to our country, putting, again, 13,000 murderers, many of them murdering many people. If you want someone who steals your wealth and abandons your family when the flood's waters rise, those flood waters rise, and they were gone. They haven't seen anybody from the federal government yet. The federal government isn't there. And by the way, how good a guy is Elon Musk? Right? You saw him last. How good. So I have to be careful with this. I said once about a month ago, you only have to vote this one time, and after that, everything will be good. And the fake news said, see, he wants to be a dictator and take over the country. No, that's not what. I said, we got to fix the country, got to make sure. And then the country will be great, and we're going to have, hopefully, some great person, whether it's JD or somebody else. And when the great Sean Hannity asked me a question, and I jokingly said, he said, okay, let's get this up. You don't want to be a dictator, do you? I said, Sean, I only want to be a dictator for one day. And I'm going to close the borders and drill, baby, drill. And after that, I never want to be a dictator, right?
So yeah, Trump was spewing some absolutely crazy stuff at his rally yesterday, and you can tell that he's getting more and more desperate as we get closer to the election, which should tell us that he is scared of the power that Kamala Harris has. And I think that is especially the case because Kamala Harris is just so much younger than Donald Trump, and that fact is super apparent after this Wisconsin rally because Donald Trump was slipping up and glitching. Just take a look at this.
I'll tell you, but they did tell me that people that own guns and rifles don't vote, relatively, like a very small percentage, like 15%. If you would vote, nobody could beat us. I'll tell you another one that don't vote. I love these people. Evangelical Christians. The Christian community doesn't vote as much as they should. Every Wisconsin small town and Midwestern, the Midwestern cities are just devastated by this.
Yeah, that was Trump messing up the word evangelicals as well as the word Midwest. And this just goes to show you that he is truly getting too old and senile to run this country. And it would be one thing if it was just stuttering, but he is stuttering while spewing some absolute nonsense. And people online were quick to call Trump out after these stutters happened, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of these replies. The Midwest is Trump's worst nightmare. Another senior moment. Alright, time to go to bed, Grandpa. The idiot candidate running to be the president of these stupid people in America is proof that ignorance can indeed be a platform. He has problems pronouncing words with 3 or more syllables. So it is clear that Trump is not fit to be president, and the fact that people are still saying so is truly worrying. I think we have to assume at this point that people who will still vote for Trump either have some sort of mental illness or are just terrible people. And I don't know about you, but I don't think we want these kinds of people deciding the fate of this country. So we have to make sure that we get out and vote this November.